Hello, fellow art explorers. My name is Terry Jones, and I'm going to start a cold wax and oil painting. Starting on a piece of 12 by 16 Arches oil paper, I use a charcoal pencil to just scratch in some lines, and then I'm using an R&F oil stick to put a very, very thin coating of this flame orange. The oil stick had broken, so I'm just kind of using a piece of it, so you see me struggling a bit with some of the paper. But I need to put a very, very thin coat on that. And then I use a skewer to just make some different lines in it, and then I kind of use a scraper to pull out some of those lines. So now I started with a blue from the R&F that I stick that I put in with some cold wax and oil, and now I'm mixing some titanium white that I put in with the cold wax and oil, and this is an ultramarine blue with cold wax and oil. And what you'll see is me mixing little piles to work with. So I tend to just use one palette knife for each one to try to keep it fairly clean. And what you'll see me doing is mixing some of the white in with some of the colors, and then I'm using the palette knife that I started off with the mixing to make place some colors on the paper. So I start out very intuitively with palette knife and making some large blocks of color in the paper, and these are very intuitive paintings. I don't have a lot planned when I first start. I just kind of follow the flow of whatever the paint I'm putting on the paper is. So I've got I think it's some kind of a sky blue or king's blue, and it's an ultramarine with some white in it. It's some warm white. I put a warm white, not a titanium white. I also have a little bit of titanium white in there. And I am now using one of the scrapers to place some of the paint on. So there's a difference between palette knives and the scrapers. The scrapers, you can get a little more detail. They work a little better if you're working to compress some of the layers together, and which I'm doing in places. And then again, skewers just to make some marks. Again, go back to the scraper. So I will continue to go back and forth as I work on developing each of these paintings separately. And what you'll see is sometimes I'll have some color in one on the scraper, and then I'll decide to put it in another space. So this is just a process, and I realized I needed more lights in that space, and this one continues to kind of grow grow with the process. It's a long process for that painting. And so I work with what I have in front of me, and I work with different kinds of scrapers. I really was enjoying how this was making the sky look, and that was a thicker scraper than the little thinner, redder one that I used. And I stood up and I hit the camera, but so now I'm still thinking again, and working on putting some more color in the what I eventually figured out was kind of water. So I'm doing that, and working on making my sky a little more solid and round. I really liked have that as a sky color, and I'm working on getting my sun kind of working there, thinking, looking at what I like, what I don't like, starting with a skewer to try to get some more texture in some of the paintings. I actually have gotten to the point that that top left-hand corner one is pretty much done, I think. And so now I'm looking at the others and trying to see what do I want to do next. This one here, I end up trying to see if I can pull out some orange lines, and I'm not sure if I particularly liked that, and so then I went back and tried to get some darker features in the water area there. And So I just keep on, I work until it speaks to me. And I'm ending up with more dark in the clouds. And now I'm going to do a real drama thing in the clouds and make them different again. And just keep on working. I'm liking how the layers decide, or how the layers are becoming. They seem to be working well with each other. I used another tool here. I wanted to use a smaller spatula to kind of get some of those warm colors in. I do find that if I keep my tools clean, things work a little better. So you'll see me constantly wiping off my tools, slightly off camera. So I'm starting to beginning to really like that look of that painting. And now I'm coming back and working on the next painting here on the right hand bottom. Adding more light to it, working on with some compression, trying to figure out really what I want to do with it. This one's going to be the most abstract of all of them. So softening some of the edges, bringing in more light, more darks, putting some waves in of some sort. I don't even know what it is. Softening edges again, and just kind of playing back and forth and back and forth. Not sure what it ends up being, but I like the rhythm of the blues in there with a little bit of the oranges just kind of peeking through. So I just keep on working on it. So I'm actually getting to the point that I'm pretty happy with that one. I went back to the ocean, did a few little details. Now I'm going, why did I do that? But now I'm going back to the top one and working with that one also, putting in some more drama in there. Cleaning out the foreground, putting some more light in the foreground, playing around with the whole concept of maybe there's more hills in the back, creating as I go along, working with my with that scraper, which is the heavier duty. That one I think is the Wedge by Catalyst, which I really like. It's a heavier feeling one than the lighter one. So I really like that sky just like it was. So I decided that I'd try to put some trees in it. And so here I go, putting some trees in with skewers, and then I used a tool to try to put some white, like it's a white birch. And I worked a little bit on the trees, and I'm starting to like it. My head's getting in the way. I apologize. I'm starting to like what's happening with the trees, putting some light and darks in there, trying to keep it fairly simple. Once I put that focal point in the foreground, then it really helped the sky and the background a lot. So now I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm going to take off my tape, as you can see. And as I quickly take off my tape, I will show you what the final the final is. But thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And I hope that this gave you a little indication of how fun cold wax in oil can be.